Hey there nation, welcome to the show where we help you to play miniatures wargaming on a budget. It is I, Commander Cheapskate, and we are very proud to present our very first introduction video to an upcoming Necromunda narrative campaign that we are calling Anarchy Road. And as you can see here, we have actually quite a bit of miniatures and all kinds of different stuff right here on the tabletop because, like I said before, this is an introduction video. It's good. Actually, in this video, we're going to talk about all the different gangs that will be participating in our vehicle-based narrative campaign for Necromunda. And the setting for this campaign will take place out in the Ash Wastes. So as you can see here, we have a large collection of vehicles, miniatures, in various states of completion, because this is the very next project that we'll be working on here in our studio for that narrative campaign. So this is something that we've actually, in my gaming group and I, have been talking about doing for a couple of years now. For the longest time, we've always thought it'd be cool to do like a Mad Max style campaign where gangs get mounted up in vehicles and they fight it out in the Ash Wastes on the planet Necromunda. Now, in case you're unfamiliar with the Ash Wastes are, in the lore of Necromunda the game, you have Hive Primus, which is the main hive that all the action takes place in from Necromunda with all the various gangs. But the entire planet as a whole has a bunch of different hives scattered throughout it, and they're all, responsible for different industries and stuff like that on the planet. Well, the wasteland that it's in between each of these different hive cities, because the entire planet is pretty much a giant wasteland from all the centuries of uncontrolled industry that took place there, is a giant blasted wasteland of ash and dust and dirt and chemicals, and it's just a really bad, horrific place. Now, even though those places are horrific, there's people who still live out there. They're called Ash Wastes Nomads, and they live out in the waste because obviously they can't live in the hive anymore for whatever reason. Either they're being hunted down, or they're scraped criminals, or whatever the case may be. So because a lot of these gangs go out to the Ash Wastes in order to escape the law. And now you might be wondering, well, why would you want to do a campaign setting there? Well, the reason why is because there are highways that crisscross Necromunda between the different hive cities. And of course, the different houses, of course, engage in commerce, and you have to ship your goods across the Ash Wastes in order to do business with other hives. And when that happens, the gangs of the Ash Wastes usually make a living by raiding and attacking those supply lines. Kind of like you see those films, like in the Mad Max films, something like that. So because of that, the Ash Wastes Nomads usually mount themselves up on vehicles, and they pillage the highways, and they fight amongst each other, and it's all chaotic and destructive and stuff. Well, my friends and I thought it'd be always cool to do a campaign based on that and to use vehicles and things. And sadly, Games Workshop has yet to release a rules pack about that, which is funny because if you look at the books that they produce, they always talk about the Ash Wastes, they talk about the different hive cities, they talk about like the Ash Gates and like the road wars, quote unquote, that take place on the highways between the different wastelands, but they don't have a rule pack for that out yet. Maybe they'll make a supplement later on, maybe they won't, I don't know. It seems like a good idea for Games Workshop to do that because then they can sell you new models, they can sell you new vehicles, and make all kinds of money doing it, but whatever. So because of that, there's no rule set for it right now. So my friends and I have basically cooked up our own campaign rules based on the current Necromunda gaming system for the Ash Wastes. We actually call it Necromunda Road Wars, is what we call our gaming supplement that we invented ourselves. And yes, you can download those rules pack. It's a 60-page document, PDF you can find on my blogger.com site. You can find in the link down below in the description. So that way you can download those rules and use them yourself. Now, I will warn you about my rules that I wrote. The rules that we wrote for this campaign have not been play tested, so we don't know what kind of strange circumstances might happen. And since my channel is doing this for free, I will not be releasing an FAQ. If there's an error or some kind of question that you have about the rules, my suggestion to you is deal with it the best way you can, I guess, because make your own adjustments to it accordingly, because we haven't play tested these rules yet. It was very, very much in the experimental phase. It says it's free and unofficial. I mean, who really cares if there's errors, right? You can always make corrections yourself. So yeah, you can download that doc on my website. It talks about how to build a gang, what vehicles, what kind of rules are associated. We've also got scenario rules on there, so it's really, really cool as well. So yeah, this is what we have for our campaign so far, and it's really, really looking really, really awesome as well. So just to let you guys know, we actually have two halves of this table. The first rank here, this front row here, these are actually the gangs that the players will be playing. So as you can see, we have 5 gangs that will be participating in this campaign setting. We have a gang of Scavvies. Yes, I said Scavvies, and I wrote up Scavvy rules for these guys. I think you'll like them. We have rules for Venators. This will be a Venator gang. We have a Pit Slave gang, and yes, I wrote rules about Pit Slaves, and you can look at those in the document as well. So we have a Pit Slave gang. We have a House Orlock gang, which is the gang I will be playing. This is the House this is my house that I'll be playing, my gang. And of course, we have our Ash Wastes Nomads. Now, if you notice, our Ash Wastes Nomads are orcs in this case, and the reason why is because my buddy Brother Grimm, wanted to use orcs for his warband, for his gang, and so I figured why not? The Ash Wastes Nomads are a eclectic group at best of mutants, xenos, and people just trying to survive. So that is perfectly fine to have those in there as well. Now, in the back rank here, we have our NPCs. So we have our MFP, MFP, the main force patrols. These are the cops of the Ash Waste. They are basically Adeptus Arbites enforcers or Hell Knight enforcers. So that's what some of the NPCs they'll be facing in this campaign, because it is a narrative campaign. We have this right here, which is a Water Guild transport caravan. So the Guilders do quite a bit out in the Ash Waste because that's what they do all their business. So I'm going to use our old House Van Sar miniatures to be the Water Guild, because they look like the Water Guild. They're completely clothed and stuff. As you can see, this is just a toy truck that I bought from Walmart real quick, and I made into a war rig. I had a Rhino ramming prow. I cut some sprue to make some spikes, to make boarding spikes to repel boarders. I used some old mixing cups and some 40k bits to make turrets. Now, if you wonder what these little stick things here with the little green stuff on the top, those are boomsticks. That's what we call them in our campaign setting. I'm not sure if you ever guys watched Mad Max Fury Road, but in Mad Max Fury Road, the war boys use these spears with explosive tips, and they use them to blow up stuff. Well, we created the same thing for our campaign setting. We call them boomsticks. That's what we call. So you can see we got spikes and things. We got this guild transport vehicle. This is going to be like the really super heavy characters. I forgot what they're called in the Water Guild, but they're kind of like the big daddies from BioShock, if you ever played those games. They're like diving suit type of guys. So I'm going to have a second one I'm going to paint up. I'm going to put that one up here as well. So this vehicle here, it's got this tow winch because it hooks up to the heavy armored guys, and then of course it lassos them to enemy vehicles to attack them. It's got a pair of auto cannons as well as a ramming prow. And of course we have this bulldozer type vehicle with boarding spikes. It's got a harpoon gun, rocket pods, boomsticks, and riders and things. So that's our little guild transport for these guys. It's really cool. These guys are NPCs. We actually have a couple of scenarios where my players will go up against caravans from the Guilders and try to attack them and take their stuff. So that'll be like one of the NPCs that they go after as well. And at the same time over here, which is the Peste de Resistance, which is this huge Promethean Guild land train, I would have you believe. And what this could be another scenario, a couple scenarios where the characters have to, my players have to go up against a Promethean Guild transport. So this is supposed to be like some kind of refinery, portable refinery, Promethean refinery, with its grappling hook and stuff. And it's a train that goes across the land. And of course, we have our escort vehicles. This vehicle here has got a rocket pod, a seismic cannon, as well as a arm. We have some escort vehicles, some outriders mounted on dirt bikes with guns and shotguns and stuff. They look very Mad Maxy. And a quad with a laser cannon. These are from the Jackals, I think is what they're called, from the Geostealer cults. If you notice the heads, I managed to get a couple of sprues heads of some Adeptus Mechanicus. I use those to make the heads on these guys. And then we have the Guild Transport Guards, which is from a box set of Caldor miniatures that I replaced the heads with Adeptus Mechanicus heads to make them look like Promethean Guild members. And nothing against the miniatures themselves, okay? Nothing against Caldor or Games Workshop, but these Caldor miniatures were the most frustrating miniatures I've ever assembled in my life. They were a major pain. The contact points on these things are super small, super irregular. I don't know how you put these together without losing your freaking mind. It took me 2 days to put these 10 guys together, because that's how difficult it was to assemble these guys. I can't imagine what it'd be like to purchase like the upgrades from Forge World with the different heads and the different arms and stuff, and try to figure out how it all fits together with these guys, because it was absolutely frustrating to put these things together. So this will be the last set of Caldor miniatures I ever put together from Games Workshop, just because it took forever and a day. Yes, they look really cool, and yes, they're really awesome looking, and I will not deny that, but it is not worth the pain and effort that I went through to put these together. Absolutely insane. But yeah, so these will be the guild guards for that transport as well. Now, this is not everything that we have, of course. Obviously, we got some more stuff. I got another gang of... I'm going to use my Cawdor gangers for our campaign as well, because the House Cawdor is in alliance with the Promethean Guild, and that'll be another scenario as well. We also have a Fallen House. House Arathis, I think is what it's called. It's one of the fallen houses in Necromunda from the classic era of the Necromunda game. And that's why there's a little space right here. Those guys, once I get that all put together, there will be a noble house that they can ally themselves with as well. So it's really, really cool. Now, if you're wondering what these vehicles are made from, a lot of these vehicles and these fleets are made from old tank miniatures, World War II tank miniatures. So like this is like an armored car from like World War II, a German armored car. This is from an Abrams miniature. You have a Sergeant York anti-aircraft tank chassis there. That's from a Leopard main battle tank chassis miniature. That's where I got those from. I went to a garage sale and they were just giving away for a couple of bucks. So I just bought them real quick and cannibalized them real quick to make these. And of course, we got boomsticks on the top here with our little green stuff warheads. Now, if you're wondering what these huge pole vaulting things are right here, those are called polecat boarding pikes, is what we call them. I'm not sure if you ever watched Mad Max Fury Road, but if you did, there's this cool scene where these guys are called polecats. They got these giant 20-foot pipes. What they do is they pole vault from one vehicle onto another vehicle. It's a really intense and awesome action sequence. So in order to create that, we put in a rule set where you can upgrade your vehicles by having these polecat pole vaulting pikes, so that way your characters can board enemy vehicles by pole vaulting onto your enemy. So for example, my characters, we have that. We got two pole vaulting polecat pole vaulting pikes right there. We got the same thing going on with these orcs. As you can see, they're mounted on the war bikes. So they got little gobos in the top, pole vaulting down, which seems like a very orc thing to do. But yeah, just to give you guys some some context, like for example, let's say that this character wanted to board this enemy character. What he would do is he'd go up to the pole vault and pole vault over. He'd take an initiative test, which he automatically passes, because that's why you use them. Because in our game, the rules we wrote up, if you want to board an enemy vehicle, you have to jump a certain number of inches and pass an initiative test in order to do it. And if you use a pole vaulting polecat pole vault, it automatically passes, and you can pole vault 6 inches away from your vehicle to an enemy vehicle to do it that way, for example. At the same time, we also have rules called boarding spikes. So, for example, you see these spikes here sticking on the top of the vehicle. If an enemy tries to pole vault onto your enemy vehicle and they got boarding spikes, they still have to take an initiative test, because that's so that way they don't land on the spikes. And if they do, they get injured. So you see, we got all kinds of rules for that. We also got rules what happens if you get shot off a vehicle or if you fall off a vehicle. We got rules for boomsticks. We got rules for all kinds of vehicle upgrades like turreted weapons and ramming prows. We got engine upgrade rules. We have new weapons that we have, for examples. For example, like these characters here, they use sawed-off shotguns, right? Well, I created a rule set for a weapon called a Rockatansky Special, and the reason why it's called a Rockatansky Special, because in case you're unaware, Mad Max's real name is Max Rockatansky, and he uses a double-barrel sawed-off shotgun. Well, we have a weapon called a Rockatansky Special. We also have rules for that we created for like bows with explosive tips. We got some bow guys there. We got rules for spears, rules for grab hooks, all kinds of different weapons and kit out that we created, with rules about how to use it with weapon templates and strength templates and how much that would cost and stuff. We got rules about how to create your gang, all kinds of different crazy stuff that I put together for this campaign. So it's like a real labor of love that we're basically going on. So now what we got to do now is paint these up, the ones that need to be painted anyways. That's going to take a while, but once we get them all painted up and we get everything put together, it's going to be freaking amazing, and we can't wait to try it out. So that's going to be our new campaign. After we get done with our current Dominion campaign, we're going to go on to our Mad Max inspired narrative campaign called Necromunda Anarchy Road. That'll be the name of the series. And my gaming group and I have been planning this for a couple of years. And now that we got the time to do it, and we finally got the resources and everything put together, we're going to make it happen. And we can't wait to see exactly how it turns out. So yeah. That's good for this one, guys. Lots of information on this one. Like I said before, the rules for our campaign setting can be found in the description below, and you can download that and make up your own rules in your own vehicles and use them for your own games if you want to. And if you make battle reports, if you want to make a battle report series or share photos with it or anything that you're doing like that, do so. Put the links in my Facebook account or Instagram, or link me to it, or put up videos of your own and just invite me to look at it, because I'd really like to see exactly if you guys do anything with these rule sets and what kind of stuff you come up with yourself. Because you may have a good idea, but you know, you're not the whole solution ever. So seeing what other people do can make it look really awesome as well. So yeah, super excited for this campaign. Got a lot of paying ahead of us, but by the time we get done, it's going to look absolutely fantastic and it's going to look boss. So yeah, like I said before, that's good to do for this week, guys. As always, please feel free to like, comment, and or subscribe. Your guys' input is invaluable to us as always. Also check us out on Facebook, Instagram, as well as blogger.com for all the latest greatest hobby news related to our channel. That's good to do for this week, guys. We'll catch you guys next one. Peace out and stay classy.